Hi, and welcome to another episode of Starship Gaming. Today, we are going to talk about, another console that's coming out soon. And that console is kind of a blast from the past, especially if you grew up in the 80s. The Intellivision Amico. Now, I bet a lot of you are wondering, where did this system come from? When was it announced? It was actually announced a good while ago, back in 2018. Now, in case you have never heard of the Intellivision, you have to kind of go back in the history. The Intellivision was a game console that was made in 1979 and sold by Mattel, more specifically Mattel Electronics. And interesting enough, it was one of only two game consoles that Mattel ever made. The first, of course, was the Intellivision in 1979/1980. The story with the 1979-1980 is that it was released in test markets in 79, and then mainstream release in 1980. So for the sake of things, we're going to say 1979. And then the other one was the Hyperscan, which is very infamous. I never owned one. My friend growing up had one. Here's the sad thing. His family gave him the option between a Hyperscan, which I think was like maybe $99. This was like Christmas 2006. He had the choice between a Hyperscan and a brand new Nintendo GameCube that year. And sadly enough, he went with the Hyperscan, so that was the other game console, I guess you could technically say, that Mattel made, other than the original Intellivision. Anyway, back to Intellivision. The really odd thing about Intellivision is that it was made mainly between 1979 and 1984, but for some twist of fate, it continued production up until late 1990, which that is a pretty long time. Well, let's fast forward to more modern times. The Intellivision, the name at least, no longer belongs to Mattel. It was sold off sometime in the 80s. Another company got a hold of it, and it's passed around, a few times over the years until we come to today and the creation of the Intellivision Amico. So, like I said, in 2018, it was announced that a new console under the Intellivision brand was going to come out. And when I heard about that, this was, quite a while since the announcement that a new Atari console was coming out, which the original Intellivision was in competition with the original Atari, with the original Atari, as well as, what else was there? ColecoVision? Yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was a joke. I was thinking, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke? No, it absolutely was not. It was 100% authentic, this news was. And I was thinking, geez, we're getting Atari, we're getting Intellivision now, is it revenge of the 80s? That all that we haven't had yet is, ColecoVision, which, somebody owns the name to, Coleco now, and if you haven't heard the story, we're going to cover it probably soon. It's been told 100 times over, but the Coleco Chameleon, which was just like supposed to be a fancy Atari Jaguar, more or less, but we'll save that for another episode. So we have this new Intellivision Amico coming out. And I don't know if you've seen the most recent trailer as of the posting of this video, but it's said in the trailer that it's going to bring the family closer together. More or less, you're going to get party games, you're going to get games you can play as a family, and the system is more or less made for the more casual gamer, which, if you've seen the trailer, it really puts down hardcore gamers, because you get some really hardcore gamers out there, but this trailer intentionally did that. It's like, we're for children, and, that's not a bad thing. children and family. But this thing is basically, if it does become successful, it'll basically be the next Nintendo Wii. Because if you remember the Nintendo Wii, everyone had one. I mean, it was mainly a family thing. You sit down, you play bowling and whatnot, and the party games. But according to some of the research I've done on the Intellivision Amico, the games, there will be, and I don't know how long this will last, but as of right now, all of the games will not surpass the E10 plus rating. So nothing extremely violent, no Call of Duty type stuff, anything like that. So basically it's a console for the family. I think it's a good concept. I actually may get an Intellivision Amico. I don't know. I may get one of these before I get an Atari VCS, but that's just me. And of course, from what I've heard, we are also getting a new Earthworm Jim game for the Intellivision Amico, which is pretty awesome. And said Earthworm Jim game will be exclusive to the Intellivision Amico. So probably, if we do get it, it'll probably be like probably still a 2D platformer. I'm not really sure. But I would almost get an Amico just to play Earthworm Jim, because I am a huge Earthworm Jim fan, since the 90s. At this time, not a whole lot is known about the Amico, at least from my research, as of the posting of this, but there is a release date, October 10th, 2020, or 10/10/20, either or if you live in Europe. I think it's going to be released the same day in Europe, so I really don't know yet. But I know in the United States it's going to be October 10th, 2020. So the big question, as you've watched this video, is what do you think my thoughts are going to be on it? You heard my thoughts if you've watched the Atari VCS video. What I think about the Atari VCS, if it'll fail or be a success. Well, the Intellivision Amico, in my opinion, at the moment, I am absolutely undecided. Yes, a shock, I know, but let me explain for a moment. It's one of those things that could go either way. First of all, you have to look at marketing the thing. If you can market the Intellivision Amico, price it decently, actually do it for your target audience, which is family and kids, casual gamers, then you could probably have a pretty good launch and sell of it. I mean, you could actually do really good. Of course, it depends on the economic climate at the time. Of course, you've heard all of these rumors of a recession that may occur any day now in the United States and worldwide. So you have to take that into account. Of course, if you're watching this video after the launch of it and you're saying, recession never happened, or, oh God, a recession did happen, then yeah. But you have to look at that. If a recession does happen, it's going to fail. A lot of things are going to fail. Nobody has any money during a recession, especially, a lot of your target audience. Everybody's not going to be worried about playing games. They're going to be worried about, paying the bills and everything skyrocketing because of the recession and whatnot. But the thing is, it could potentially, if everything economic-wise does good, like I said, the marketing's good, your advertising's good, you hit the target audience right in the feels. You also get the retro people that likes the old Intellivision or retro games. And like I said, you price it decently, it could be successful. Unlike the Atari VCS. The Atari VCS and the Google Stadia, those are... I don't know about those yet. We're going to do another Google Stadia video soon, so look forward to that. But I am undecided on the Amico. I mean, like I said, I'm probably going to get one before I get a VCS. If I do get a VCS, it's just more or less for the purpose of review. If I get it before the Amico, I'm still thinking about it. I really don't know yet. We'll see. But I think a good price for this system would be $149. Anything above $149 is a little bit of a risk. Like if they price it at $199, that could be a big risk. $149 is the perfect price. If I'll be shocked if they say $99. If it's $99, it's going to be automatically shut up and take my money, because I'll buy one right on the spot. But if it's, more than $149, maybe like $179 or something, I'd have to think about it. But $149.99 would be the perfect price for this, as long as, as long as it was pretty decent. But it probably won't be $149. It'll probably be like $199. I'll be shocked if it's more than $199, because in my eyes, that's all it's worth to me. Of course, a lot of you would say different. I'd pay $299 for it. Well, bully for you. But I think $199 would be a good price for it. That's just my personal opinion. Judging on, the types of games they'll have aimed at families, because nobody's going to buy it if it's just, just for families. I mean, you got gamers out there that will buy a Nintendo Switch before they'll buy one of these. Even though a Nintendo Switch will cost more, but you get the gist of it. But like I said, I'm undecided. Do I think if the conditions are right, it will be a success? If not, it'll fail. But we may do more videos on it as more news about it comes out. But that's all I really have to say about it right now. There's not much more known about it. So we'll just have to wait and see and see what Intellivision brings us. And we have plenty of time until it comes out. As of the recording of this, we have a good 13 and a half months. So we have plenty of time to talk about it before it actually releases, so we could get a look at the product, the final product at least. So that is all I have to say about the Intellivision Amico. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you like this, like it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications of when we do more awesome videos. We're going to be doing more videos frequently, so you can look forward to that. And until next time, I will see ya.